Okay guys, good evening and good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching the stream. Welcome to a new series for a Wednesday night. I'm your host and I do have a co-commentator next to me, or should I say virtually next to me. Is none other than Will. We are going to be doing commentary for the Mugen Masters, so good evening Will.
Good evening Andy.
How's it going, bud? Not too bad mate, not too bad.
Yeah.
So as I say mate, it's a new championship and I'm going to let you introduce the championship and where we are and who we're proudly sponsored by for the championship.
So, as you can see, the biggest change from last Wednesday series was it's been the cars. We've swapped from Ferrari 458s to Honda NSXs. And if you look closely on the number boxes and on the rear wing end plates, we're now sponsored by Shell Lawman Motorsport, who sponsors the BTCC Series 2. So make sure you go check her out. Not check her out, but check the stuff. Yeah, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. At the moment we are, for round one, we're at the Kyoto driving park, the Yamagiwa+Miyabi layout. So we've got a few new faces as well, with some returning faces too. Obviously Moz, the champion from last season, in a very pink car to say the least. Ryan McVeigh too returning. Pineapple Head, Tom Holland, with Timmy, Lee Fitzy and Brian Ross making their debuts in this series. So it's going to be quite an interester, I think.
Yeah, and as you say, it's Honda powered, so it's like the GR4 version of a Honda NSX, which is kind of like a GT3 or GT4 spec Honda NSX race car in real life. So as you know, Will's just explained a bit about the championship and where we're racing tonight and who we're proudly sponsored by. So we'll go through who's here and we'll go through when qualifying does start, and I believe the format has changed slightly, Will, in, if I'm rightly saying, there's 3 races a night.
Yeah, there will be 3 15-minute races, with the second 2 being reverse grids, as per request of, or suggestion by Darren. So we normally will be starting at qualifying, will begin at past, but we've delayed it until 2:45 for tonight.
Okay. So it will be very interesting because, like you say, we've got returning drivers and we've got new drivers joining us, which, to be fair, it's going to be amazing to see what the new guys can do against the guys that are seasoned pros in this division. I'm not saying everyone's a pro driver. We do cater for everyone's capability for racing, regardless of your racing background. You do not have to be Lewis Hamilton, as I say on my commentary throughout the week. We cater for everyone. So if you want to have a go, then head over to the Eldar Sim Facebook page and contact one of the admins as of there. So it will be very interesting. And what's the calendar for this season, Will? So after tonight, where do we head?
Next week I think we're heading to Fuji. Fuji, which would be not personally one of my favourite circuits, but it could make for some interesting racing, especially at the first corner after that ridiculously long straight. Yep.
So it'll be very interesting with it being a Japanese round 1 and a Japanese round 2. It is kind of very interesting, as you say, going into Fuji next week. You know, I think the back half of the lap, when you've got them obviously back-to-back hairpins, and I'll tell you what, I've watched Super GT in real life when they've been racing at Fuji, and you know, it's a mega track, but there's not enough room for margin for error though.
Yeah, exactly. It's very narrow and quite easy to make mistakes, especially with it all being off camber and whatnot. But I thought we'd start off with a very sort of beginner-friendly sort of circuit, very basic, I suppose. Has all the elements of a good racetrack, some fast-flowing corners here, coupled with some hairpins and some chicanes. So should make some.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, lots of taking opportunities.
So obviously, you know, we've got like the likes of Craig, Tom, Gareth, you know, to throw Ryan McVeigh into the category. You know, we've got, obviously, when we do have the newer guys taking part, it's going to be very interesting to see how quickly they can get up to the pace, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them might not be familiar with the other drivers, such as Brian Ross. I raced him a good year or so ago now.
Yeah.
Since I last on camp. So he might not be familiar with some people, but obviously people who like Moz or Hatterlad, they'll be familiar with a few people.
Yeah. So as you say, Will, it's, you know, you got the likes of Brian Ross. I've raced against him before, so I know exactly what he's like, and you know, it's going to be very interesting to see how he can adapt to, obviously, with these guys as well. But obviously, just going slightly, Darren says good luck. He's racing elsewhere this evening, so yeah, best of luck to you, mate, in your race.
Yeah, best of luck, man.
Hopefully it goes well. Go and kick some rear, as we would say, but you know, it should be very interesting. But yeah, as I say, it'll be interesting to see what these guys can do. You know, some of these guys are going to be new to me. We've got Simon Smith returning, who makes beautiful liveries. I know you've designed the liveries yourself, Will, but you know, maybe there's a bit of competition up and down pit lane who gets the nicest design. You know what I mean? But it's good to see that you've worked extremely well, and like you say, there is a pink car on the grid, and okay, there's no objections, but it's people's own personal choice, and you know, fair play.
For Moz, I think, funnily enough, he tried to get someone else, one of his mates, to do. I think it was, I don't know if it was Craig or something.
Right,
or
yeah.
Whoever, to use it. It kind of backfired because I made him use it instead.
I think that's half the issue. I think we had when we were signing up drivers for the Caymans yesterday for season 2, when that starts eventually on the 5th of February. There is a pink Porsche Cayman, and you know, I think people are like, oh, I don't want the pink car, and I said, well, if you're not going to pick, you can argue on what cars you're going to pick. I'm going to design you a pink race suit just as a joke, and you're going to be putting that all season because you're arguing about what you're going to be potentially racing. But I think everyone seemed to oblige and took that as a serious threat and thought, oh, I don't want a pink race suit, I'll pick and whatever. But yeah. So as I say, it'd be very interesting. I have Will always on a Wednesday in the commentary box, and it's always good to have two people commentating. It may get confusing because obviously I'm head of stream, but Will's also got his own personal view of what's happening, so he can tell me if there's a battle throughout the back or if there's anything we need to know. So it's an absolute pleasure, mate, to have you again in the comms box, I must say.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you doing the main comms. Did a good job last, I have to say.
Yeah, exactly, and it gets very tricky as time goes on because yeah, there is new people, but you know, new people hopefully will get to be known and they'll be up at the sharp, and you know, we'll see how these guys get on because the cars are new, and I like how technical this track actually is going to get throughout the evening. I'll tell you what, some of the tyres are, as I'm looking at Gareth right now, he's got some tyre wear, and I think he's pushing himself to the absolute limit, and he's actually setting the pace at the moment, so he's going to be a force to be reckoned for, as he is the reigning champion as of when it was the Ferraris. And you know, is he trying to get for another number one place, or is he just trying to prove he's capable of winning again? But we'll see.
It's a bit like Ryan McVeigh is quite on the same pace at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's early doors at the moment, but he could be struggling. As we were talking about a few days ago, Moz is always quite good in low grip, especially he showed quite well in Tokyo last season.
Yeah.
In the pouring rain, he dominated that race.
Yeah.
And even now, just through sector 1, he was setting an identical time to his fastest lap.
Of course,
So
yeah.
obviously he's learning, he's adapting. Be a good season.
It will be a good season, and as Darren says, it's one of the best tracks in the game is here. And don't get me wrong, I think I've only raced around here once. I'm not too sure myself, but I'd love to see how well these guys can technically do around here, because it is technical and it is going to be very interesting. So we will see what happens. I believe there's going to be how many is it full grid, or is it going to be mix and match?
I think we've had a couple dropouts. We had Bruno, who's not able to make it this week. Same with Chris Wheatley.
Yeah, so it's obviously work commitments and other commitments, yeah. which is fair enough. We do understand, as we say, we always have this in the virtual world of racing. It is real life first, game second, and you know, we do understand people do have other commitments, so we're not going to blast people. It's entirely everyone's preference.
Real life over video games, as Nick says.
Exactly, mate, exactly, and that's how everyone should have, you know, we should have that motto, is doing real life before we jump into a game. So it's going to be interesting to see who's on controller and who's on wheel. I know most of the guys probably are going to be on wheels, but, you know, it will be interesting to see who isn't this evening.
If you look at the onboard cams on the first person, you can sort of see who's on wheel and who isn't, because of the way the wheel moves.
Yeah.
It's like nice and smooth, you can tell. So I'm going on board with Ryan Ross. I think he's on controller. I'm not.
Yeah, it looks like he's on controller, because I'm on board with him now, and it looks like he's on controller. But they'll tell us. It'll be interesting to see who is and who isn't. But as you say, so you got Neil Smale returning. Surprised was the Ferraris at obviously Broadbean Raceway at the end of the last season in the Ferraris, when he was leading for quite a bit, and he was enjoying that, and you know, it seems to me that he's a force to be reckoned for this season if he gets it dialed up, and you know, fair play to him. He says he's not the quickest racer, but he's gonna get these Ferraris. He's gonna get, I nearly said Ferraris then, but he's gonna get these Hondas dialed up, and he will potentially be on for good results. And as I say,
it's all about adapting from one chassis to another.
Yep.
He was only in the Ferraris for maybe 2 or 3 races, and instantly put up after a week or so, put up a good fight in the reverse grid. So
yep.
They put in some surprise performances. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what they can do within, obviously, each is their own, because it is a new car and it is probably a new track for people to learn as well. And it is also going to be a long season ahead, because not only have we got 3 races a night, it's going to be also qualifying, so it's going to be getting that link from qualifying to performing to the first race, and then obviously and such forth for race 2 and 3. And the way I see it, when we've done it in the Caymans, when we've had 3 races, just to reiterate from our 3 experiences of races, it always seems to be when it's reverse grids, or it seems to be the 3rd race, it seems to be the most interesting one, like with obviously the likes of Craig and Gareth battling the Caymans, you know, along with James Stephen, who eventually won the Caymans. To have that, it's just been one of the amazing things, and I think the 3 race format does actually technically work. Because I know yourself, Will, you've had it in within BTCC as Inca Holmes goes off at the back of that tight hairpin there. I believe he's just clipped the curb or the grass, which spat him round. He's now doing donuts, but who can blame him? He'll get back, he'll get used to it in a minute. But yeah, there's quite obviously some new guys, and obviously, like I say, it's going to be interesting. Be interesting to see if Neil Hall comes back and makes a name for himself, because okay, bless him, he does struggle, but he needs to realise that his potential is there within his own right as well. So
Exactly, just got to keep going.
He's got to keep going and not give in. But we do understand he does struggle, and like I say, we don't mock people. We are here to give advice and give some help. So we've got at least coming up to 5 minutes till qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. So shall we go through the class of the field then, Will?
Yeah, of course. So front at the moment is Hatalad riding McVeigh. Obviously put up a good fight at the end of last season, winning both races at Broadbean, but he couldn't quite catch up to the man behind him, Gareth Morris, who won the championship fair and square. Timmy making his debut. He's supposedly a reserve driver, but he's put in a good time at the moment. He's 7/10 off, so he's doing quite well. And behind him, the very first Wednesday series champion, Tom Holland, in the Arta NSX. I think it's the Arta NSX.
Yes, it's the Autobox, which is known as Arta, I believe.
Yeah, the Arta inspired one. Behind him, Bastion in his favourite blue and white colours.
Yeah, so probably support. Yeah, so proud to be a Scotsman. So you know, hence the colours there. And
then behind him, Frowny. That's quite a nice matte grey and yellow livery.
Yeah.
And number 22 is very nice.
It's quite smart, I must admit. Then we've got
2 people in the same car.
Have we?
Yeah, Inca Holmes and Timmy. That's odd.
Okay. That'll be very interesting. We'll just have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, obviously there'll be a couple hiccups.
Yeah. It's okay, because we'll know who's who, so... Well, we should do. But never mind, we'll figure out who's where anyway, so... But yeah. So then you've got, just why Will double checks, we've got Brian Ross making his series debut in the Hondas, but, you know, as I said, I've raced against Brian before, and he's in the claret and blue car, obviously being a proud Burnley fan in football, so, you know, that doesn't go down well with me being a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan, but, you know, that's just exactly how it is, it's just exactly how things go, but that's just changing the subject, but we'll get back onto qualifying. Then you got Lee Fitzy in the, I believe that is that a yellow and blue one I see?
I think so. I've just got to add Travis Neil's stepson. Should be a nice sort of dynasty in the series. Damn it.
I'll let you do that, and then I'll just carry on then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got Simon Smith in the red and blue one. I've also noticed on the back of the rear window they've also got the Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. I believe you add in us as a sponsor as well, I believe.
Yeah, I just thought I'd add you. Obviously you've put a lot of work into this, so I don't see why I shouldn't.
Yeah, so we're obviously probably sponsored the Clio Cup that takes place on a Friday, but also it'd be nice to have a rendition, because we do obviously feature on quite a lot of the cars throughout the Eldar Sim racing, and it will be nice to see. And obviously it's a nice touch, and don't get me wrong, if you like what you see with the Eldar Sim, check obviously Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs out, check out Shell Lawman Motorsport, and also check out obviously Idle 4 Gaming, which is obviously Darren's YouTube channel. Check his out, he obviously does his commentary on there. And obviously check out the Decals Lab that proudly sponsor the Porsche Caymans. So Jay just says, evening, good luck to all the drivers racing. I don't know if Jay's racing in this league, is he? Will?
No, he's not, unfortunately.
That's a bit of a shame, because it would have been nice to have Jay Westall back, aka Technica 7 Racing, back on the grid. But fair play, if you're missing out, then, or you've got other commitments, like I say, it's not an issue. So we'll see how well it goes this evening for the guys.
I think he tied on points with Neil Paul last season.
Funny enough, they know each other in real life as well, so it would be interesting about probably bragging rights for potentially who finished where in the table, but we shall see what happens.
Oh, blimey, it's close to the top, isn't it? Less than a quarter of a second.
It sure is.
Gareth,
so Neil's going to be probably about 2 minutes according to what he's just put, so he's just going to get it just in time.
Oh yeah,
there we go, speaking of the devil. So yeah, it's very close, as you say, between Gareth and Ryan there, so it'll be interesting between these two, because obviously these two are going to now fight it out, because now Ryan's had a bit of a half season under his belt. He's now going to be in for the full campaign, so he probably wants to keep that pink NSX behind him rather than in front of him, so we'll see what happens with that.
Jeez.
Oh man, that's going to be interesting. But we shall see.
Got a couple more minutes. Let's see if Travis arrives and whatnot, and then get kicked off at quali.
Yeah, so it's 10-minute qualifying. I was just double checking.
What I say? Favourite livery of all of these has to be Neil Hall's, that gold and black NSX. It's so good.
Let's have a look. Oh, that's quite nice, I must say. It's quite nice, I must admit. It's quite nice to see it all variation as well, which is quite interesting.
Always do like a nice colourful grid.
Yeah, I think that's the way you could do it, is do a colourful grid, because then everyone knows who's in which car. Obviously, yeah, okay, we've got two matching ones, but you know, that's probably because with Timmy being a reserve, he wasn't sure which one to go in, or which one, you know, for this evening. But it doesn't really matter, because we'll know who's who and we'll know where they are, so there's no harm having two the same this evening. It's just how it goes sometimes.
There'll just be a couple hiccups here and there.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're human, we can't make everything perfect, but
no, but the thing is, mate, you do try, and obviously, you know, fair play to you for making amazing liveries. You know, I've obviously made the Caymans, and it does feel like, you know, there is a lot of hard work and effort going in with what you do, mate, so fair play to you. You've set up this league, and I've jumped in as commentator, now you jumped in as a co-commentator, so fair play. It's alright, man, that's what I'm here for. Nah, you'll have a few hiccups, mate, we all do. I've had a few over the last couple of weeks.
yeah.
It's not been easy, but you know. So we'll see if everyone's going to make it in for qualifying, because we're a minute behind.
I'm just waiting on Travis. If he's not able to show up, I've just messaged into the group chat to Neil.
Yeah.
But if not, then we'll get cracking. So there's always 2 races after to
Yeah.
get involved. I think someone's gone off. Timmy's crashed at the second hairpin.
Let's have a look. Yeah, he had done.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
So there's a lot of
If you're not
hairpins
making
here.
mistakes, you're not going faster. Yeah,
No,
exactly. Quite like
there's quite a lot of hairpins. There's quite a lot of straights. There's quite a lot of technical bit. There's obviously the back bit before you go onto the start finish line. That little kink where Timmy's coming into now, and then obviously into that hairpin. That could easily be sort of an overtaking manoeuvre if you get the line right. So obviously I've noticed something on the track as well. There's like 50R or 30R. I think it's due to the radius. Obviously, you know what the Japanese are like to name things like after R for the radius of the corner. So it's going to be interesting. So it's like 130R at obviously Suzuka, and obviously I think there was obviously another 130 somewhat Fuji.
Fuji.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the big long right hand. No, that is one of them.
Yeah, that's the 130R at Fuji. Yeah. I'll study the track map for next week, and it'd be very interesting to see.
Right now Travis is in. Wait for him to get in his car, and then we'll get going.
Yep.
Oh, Mars is. Oh, I thought Mars had. Oh, I think he might just be going to fetch his livery.
Yeah.
Oh, I think.
Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll give him a couple of minutes, because if he's not got his livery, we'll just wait a minute. So it's gonna be interesting. I'll tell you this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Just put about 2 minutes, if that.
Yeah. So it won't be so late next week. But
No.
so as it still is only 3 15-minute races, so it shouldn't be too
Yeah.
long, or end. At most, it might end at like just after 9 or so.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. You know, you've got it. Tom's asking if it's a mandatory pit stop. That'd be interesting. But obviously,
Nah, no man.
no. So it's just 3 15-minute sprint races. It should be very interesting.
The thing is, if we did make it mandatory stop,
Yeah.
if it was on this tile where everyone would just stop on lap 1. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Holland runs a bit wide at the last chicane.
Where's he at? He's now jumped into pit lane now, though. It's nice to see the courteous with the apologies as well, so it's
Yeah, nice level of respect between all the drivers.
It's what we want, and you know, it's what we ask for. We ask for a good level of respect, and as long as you give it, you get it back to you.
We'd rather have drivers of all skill level and also large amounts of respect for each other than ridiculously quick drivers that just fire each other off.
Indeed, mate. I'm just going to grab a quick drink and then I'll there we go.
let's just. I think we should get quali going now, just because.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna go a while.
So we might have to join for race 2 and 3 then.
Yeah, they're all in. So it's fine and down.
Okay then. So we get the green light in the pit lane, ready to say that qualifying is about to start. Who's going to leave and who's going to start the season on pole position. Hopefully everyone makes it out of pit lane safe and they don't have any issues. I'll just double check while Will sees what's happening on track.
So far everyone's been courteous and dropping off a bit to build a bit of a gap. Man, some seriously unfortunate timing there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Do you want to offer them a restart because he's jumped in?
Yeah, let's just do a restart.
Yeah. Might be better that we do a restart.
Yeah. 13 drivers on the grid there, it's not too shabby.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad compared to... Just make sure everyone exits.
Yes.
I'll exit myself so it looks like we're not holding people up.
So a few people waiting in the pits.
Yeah.
They've got to press that red X. It's a bit confusing that.
It can be confusing, yeah.
Those menus aren't exactly optimal to delete, especially when you're in it's like a free mode thing or like a practice race lobby.
Yeah.
You make joints, you go to say hello and you end up starting the race. For God's sake.
Yeah.
No, it's no track on.
It's quite funny.
Right, we're all good to go.
Good to go, mate. Good to go, yeah.
Get it underway.
You'll be fine, just chill.
It's been 84 years.
As the song goes, the famous song goes, yeah. So let's see if all 13 cars do make it out of pit lane, and we'll see what happens up and down pit lane to see who gets the fastest time in qualifying. And it will be very interesting. There'll be a load of cars coming out of the track and it will be potentially tight and twisty going into the first turn, but hopefully people get a good tow. I'll just make sure everyone's jumped out of pit lane. You still got Hatterlad and Lee Fitzy, but I believe they're just going to wait for everyone just to
Can't keep it too long though. You've got to find that good gap between catching up to the back of someone midway through a lap and getting a good slipstream. So top one's really going for it. He's trying to build a gap up to Timmy.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting. So I believe Ryan's just now gone out of pit lane, so he's just...
There's plenty of time between him and Lee Fitzy.
Yeah, so it'd be very interesting to see what to do.
They do sound good, don't they?
Oh, they do. Oh, they do, mate. I was just thinking that before when we were watching them practice. They do sound pretty amazing. So you've got 3 blue cars in a row, sort of, at the moment. Yeah, man. So it'll be interesting. So you got Gareth at the moment just trying to probably get some air and trying to chase people down. You got Travis there trying to obviously see what he can do, because he's another debutant in the series. You got his dad Neil Hall behind him. I was having a bit of a joke with Neil over the last couple of weeks, and I said, well, what's it going to be like when you've got father and son on the battle? Are we going to mention it? Or he says, well, no, because he's just another rival, which is fair enough, you know. I wouldn't class my son, if I had a son, as he was. But yeah, if I had a son, I wouldn't class him as my rival. But you've got, at the moment, Craig's trying to obviously get some air as well, so it's going to be interesting what happens as Neil's just gone off at the last hairpin before the start-finish line.
Never seen this before. I'm just going on board with Travis. If you look at his telemetry, he's not running ABS, but he is running traction control. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah. Jay's just put in the comments on the chat on the stream, family comes second in racing. Yeah, it does indeed. But we will see. So they are getting onto their first of probably 3 or 2 flying laps, depending if they get round quick enough. So we'll see what happens. So
2 maybe.
Probably 2 at least.
Come on, Neil.
Yeah.
Neil,
I think it'll be Neil Hall.
Yeah.
Most likely. So it'll be very interesting to see. So at the moment, got obviously the 3 blue cars are still in that line, but they're equally spread out. So as Inca Holmes goes a bit wide there.
Comes back onto the Yamagiwa section. I'm just going to keep on board to see how he's doing. He didn't particularly do so well last season.
No.
Replicate his victory of the SEC.
Yeah.
Blue car. It's quite a good handling car, I must say.
Yep.
It's really great. He's probably throwing it over the curbs.
So he's about to go into the final hairpin. What's his time going to be? Because he'll be the benchmark, so it will be 2 minute points. 2 minute 25.5. Yeah, so that will be very interesting. Inca Holmes goes
7/10 faster, blimey.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. There you go, there's a surprise. Gareth has already beat Inca Holmes' time with a 2:24.3. Now Craig's, yeah, and then Craig's now smashed it by quite a bit there. So then you got Trav did a 2:37.2, and you got Simon Smith did with 2:26.2. And then Frowney with a 2:25.4, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with these guys.
Yeah, some drivers may not be so good over several laps, and they might be better in a pack of drivers.
Yeah.
So it could well be a race of attrition. There might be some incidents or mistakes.
Well, there's a surprise Hatalad with a 2:23.899. So that's interesting, because he's just jumped into pit. So whether he's deciding to get a bit of fresh tyre, because he's had a bit of wear in that lap. But we've got coming up to 3.5 minutes remaining in this session, in the first qualifying session of the new season, and we'll be fighting it out for the title all the way through to see what happens with these guys. So you've got the familiar names up front at the moment, with obviously Ryan and of course Craig and of course Gareth. But then obviously you've got the new guy Inca Holmes there in 4th place, and then thrown in obviously Tom Holland and obviously Simon Smith. So you know it's going to be very interesting that two guys that were in the Ferraris last season, 6th and 7th, and then obviously the top 3 at front that were in the Ferraris still battling for pole position. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Just looking further back at the field at the moment.
Osman wasn't quite on the same pace as Moz, if my memory serves correctly, last season.
Yeah, that's correct.
He was quite frequently on track. I remember on when I was racing, I'd always end up when me and Moz and Osman always ended up as a trio as Inca Holmes. So it's the second fastest time.
Second fastest time at the moment, so he's pulled himself up. You got Neil Smell with a 2:28.1, so you know he's improving his times slowly but surely. So we've got 2 minutes left on the clock. So let's see what's happening further back. We've got obviously Tom Holland in 7th at the moment.
All big incident there. Brian Ross tried to overtake Hall and just ran it out wide a bit too much and smacked the wall on the last chicane.
Yeah.
An unfortunate manoeuvre, big and last sort of racing incident. On one hand you could say, oh, Neil Hall should have gotten out of the way, but on the other hand you could say, well, Neil was on a quali lap as well. So
yeah, exactly.
There's only 2/10 separating him and Travis now, which is quite interesting to see.
Going to be interesting with 1 minute and 20 remaining.
So can Neil beat his stepson? Very interesting. Very interesting.
So let's see what else is happening. Timmy's decided to go in pit lane and sit the rest of the session out, which is okay, fair enough. But it will cost him. So what's
benchmark?
Yeah, I think obviously if you're going to set your benchmarking, that's how you feel comfortable with, then obviously yeah, it can go your way, it may go your way, it may not, but it all depends on obviously your time. So you've got 40 seconds remaining. You got the hustle lad Ryan McVeigh, obviously last season's Ferrari pusher honor, as I'm going to call him, because he did really well. And you know, you got Inca Holmes in 2nd, and you got Craig in 3rd at the moment. So these guys are going to be very interesting. So obviously Gareth, the champion of the Ferraris, down in 4th at the moment.
Let's see, is he still on a lap? Tom Holland goes fast and goes up to 6th.
Yep. So
he's coming up on the start finish straight. Oh, he's not going to get another lap in.
He's not, but he's got pole position. He's got pole position though. He's obviously strung it together.
Yeah, Attalad's gone purple though.
Yeah.
Sector,
so that'd be very interesting because he's obviously managed to cross the line before he gets another crack at it, see what happens. He's still purple in that section. He squeals the tyres a bit going into that hairpin, but if he strings it together into this and doesn't get caught up with anyone that's completing their laps, he may be pushing on for pole position.
Snod and Travis going too wide over the line. Snod sets a faster time, but he can't quite catch up to Lee Fitzy. We'll just go back to Hattelad. He's still purple.
Still purple, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this could be really good. He's got the hairpin to go, but he's got a car in front. But whether the car in front crosses the line before he gets Neil Hall with a 1:32.34.1, so that's going to be interesting. So let's see what Ryan McVeigh can do. Is he going to get pole position?
Is he going to get it?
No, he doesn't get it. He misses out, man.
Last sector, he almost had it. Just watching him up until that weird chicane near the end, he was right up there. I don't know if he outbraked himself at the last corner or what.
It'd be very interesting to see.
Moz takes it from Ryan at the last moment with debutant Inca Holmes coming home 3rd. Very interesting. Oh, Inca Holmes is still on a lap. How's it going?
He's down. He's down. No, he's down on his sector there, but he's
still going for it.
Yeah, I believe Tom Holland's also still on a flyer. Let's caught the glimpse of the orange.
Can he beat Timmy? He only got to catch a 10th and a quarter or so.
Let's see. No, he still finishes 6th. Hatter Lad says he blew it in the comments, so that'll be very interesting. That's a bit disappointing, but yeah, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting.
Looks like Neil has managed to hit Travis.
Yeah.
As well at the back.
So that will be very interesting. So we'll get ready for the first race here at Kyoto. I can't even pronounce the rest of them. But yeah, it will be very interesting.
A plus in the front row of the grid.
Yeah. So we get ready for the start. So you got Gareth on pole position, followed by Ryan McVeigh and Inca Holmes at the top 3. Then you have Craig alongside him, and then you have Timmy. Let's go racing. Let's see who gets the start into turn number 1. Let's have a gander. Yeah, he seems to.
All over the back of now.
Yep. So there's going to be a gaggle of cars going into.
Yes.
Yeah, so into the S. Yeah, good.
All they got to do is remember that it is the first lap. The race isn't won here.
No, it's not.
Still another 14 minutes, 30 seconds left.
Yep. So Hartlad's trying to make a move on Moz going into the long left-hand corner there. He's still tucked in behind. You've still got the real Osman followed Inca Holmes, and I believe Lee Fitz's. Yeah, he's gone off into the barrier there, but he's still going into 6th place. You got Frowney trying to make a move onto him there, and then you got Simon Smith losing control into that hairpin there, which is
he's just
spun it round, which obviously
crashed as well, trying to avoid him or something.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but he's still got this battle between Inca Holmes, Pineapple Head now up into 4th, and then obviously you've got Timmy trying to chase down these guys. You've got Craig still trying to get past Tom Holland, but it's going to be very technical at the back of the field. But this battle for potentially 4th and 5th at the moment, as Craig and Tom Holland have a bit of a knock into each other. But we'll see what's happening further back. So what's happening at the back, Will, do you know?
No, nothing really, besides Ryan Ross runs a bit wide. Must have lost on the exit the hairpin there. And loses a spot to Bastion and Neil. And Travis is up behind him as well, he's going to move.
Yep.
But,
let's have a look.
At the front now, Ryan's all over the back of Gareth now.
Yeah, he's going into that. Still with them, yeah. So you not only you got the battle for 1st, 2nd and 3rd, you've also got the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, potentially
8th as well.
Potentially 8th, but obviously Frowney goes a bit wide out of the hairpin there, which will allow Bastion up into potentially. So we'll see if he.
We were talking about Bastion before the race. So
Yeah.
He improved quite a fair bit before the end of last season. He's definitely improved. You can see he's
he's had a decent start there. So let's see what's going on. You've got Craig trying to chase down. Yeah.
Can he make it a double move?
Oh, this will be. Oh.
Still better on it.
He's still there, but he's gonna try and. Ryan's still gonna try and chase him down, mate.
Ryan's looking for an outside move. Maybe he's thinking he can stick it on the outside. He takes the dummy. both of them go down the inside?
Inca Holmes takes the lead though.
Great racing from all three of these guys.
Yep.
So, obviously there's a bit of rubbing, but...
Yeah, Tom Holland just gets crossed up going into that hairpin there, but it's just allowed Timmy back up into his mirrors, and then you got Lee Fitzy trying to make a move. You know, these. So 5th, 6th and 7th are potentially battling because now that Frowny's dropped back a bit. So
guys, I'm loving this battle at the front. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the battle at the front's amazing. I'll tell you what, this is going to be very interesting. So you got Hatterlad splitting the two lads there, but you know it's going to be obviously pushing on a bit.
They just can't pull any silly moves or smack into anyone because they've still got the rest of the race, and if something goes wrong here, they might end up 10th rather than say 3rd or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got still got Tom Holland still hanging on to 5th place at the moment. Obviously Lee Fitzy's trying to get past none other than Timmy for potentially 6th place, but it'll be very interesting. Let's go. So you got Bastion still in 9th, trying to chase down Frowny for 8th. He's still doing exceptionally well. We're still keeping up with him and trying to chase after him. Then you got Brian Ross in 10th place at the moment. Then you got Neil Hall.
Timmy's got past Tom Holland.
So that's going to be very interesting. Tom Holland's going to fight back.
Yeah.
He's going to try and fight back there.
So hard to keep up with all these battles.
Oh, it is. It's very hard. But you got Tom Holland trying to makes the move there, but Timmy closes the door. Tom's got to be careful because he's got Lee Fitzy behind him. So it'd be very interesting. So Tom tries to make a move on both of them. I think he got a bit crossed up there, didn't he?
Swerving on the exit, yeah. He's gonna have Lee Fitzy all over him now.
He is now. Yeah, he has.
He's just got to relax a bit, take a bit of time to recuperate and
Yep.
focus back on getting past him. Because we know he's quick.
We do.
He's got the pace.
So just going back to this battle up at front, you've got Inca Holmes under threat from Ryan McVeigh at the moment. But it's going to be very interesting because Hartlad's trying to chase down his lap time. But, you know, Moz is also there. But, you know...
Yeah, he's just letting them...
He's just letting them battle.
Yeah, he knows that if they battle, this is going to slow him down drastically. And then he's got to pick up the pieces.
Yep. So I'll just go through the field. So you've got Tom Holland still trying to chase down Lee Fitzy for 6th place, as well as Timmy for 5th, but you know he'll like you say, he'll recuperate and he will get himself back up there, just pick himself back up. You got Frowny in 8th, you got Bastion trying to still chase down, but he's doing quite well to try and keep up. You've got Brian Ross in 10th, you got Simon Smith 11th, got Noddy's mate and obviously Trav in 12th and 13th, but Noddy's mate is trying to catch up to Simon Smith there. But we'll try and catch the battles up at the front. You know, we've got obviously Moz is trying to hamper the back of Ryan McVeigh's orange and blue NSX there going into turn number 1. So it's going to be really interesting because that's now going to allow Inca Holmes to potentially get that gap and push an advantage.
Now they've got the slipstream up the hills, they head over the crest, back down.
Back down the hill.
That is quite a good overtaking spot though there. This big long swoop back.
Yeah. Oh, Hatterlad's got runs. Yeah, you can tell Moz is on it because he set the fastest lap of the race so far.
Being sensible here, it may not look it, but in the long run this could work quite well for him here.
Yeah.
Now the Hat Lad's sort of
Drop back a bit now.
Make a mistake. Yeah, exactly. He's going to be a bit flustered. So Mars just needs to get his head down and focus on catching up to the rear bumper of that blue NSX in front of him.
Yep. So you still got Timmy on his debut, taking out 5th place at the moment. You got Lee Fitzy still in 6th. You got Tom Holland in 7th. He's gonna have to catch up to these guys, but from what I see, I believe Craig's struggling in that green and orange car at the moment.
Could be the case, yeah.
Because I don't think he's pushing on to catch up to obviously the likes of Ryan and obviously them lot, because he's dropping back slightly into the clutches of Timmy there.
Yeah, I think he's playing it safe. He knows he's not going to catch up, so there's no point.
No, he's playing it cool there, and he's trying to just capitalise on where he could be for the next race, even though it's reverse.
Yeah, exactly, that's all to play for. So you'll have the likes of Moz and Hatterlad at the back.
Towards the back, yeah.
Which would be quite good for Tom Holland as well. He's struggling a bit this race.
Yeah, it looks like he's dropped back a bit. So you got Bastian, you got Neil Smale still in 9th place at the moment, and it's a good showing from him. To be fair, he's still trying to catch up with that group ahead of him, but he's doing quite well. He must be getting used to his racecraft now.
Yeah, definitely.
So then
improved a lot.
So you got Brian Ross. Yeah, so you got Brian Ross in 10th. You got Simon Smith in 11th.
So go look at the battle for 1st and 2nd now. Moz is all over Ingerholmes.
Let's have a look here.
He gets the cutback,
yeah, he's going to try it.
Cheeky.
Yeah, he's trying to make a move there. Well, Ingerholmes just closes the door there. But you've got Ryan McVeigh still now trying to close onto these gaps with just under 4.5 minutes remaining. But I think he's trying to conserve himself now, because he knows that time's slowly running out. But I think Ryan might push on a charge towards the end.
Yeah, it could go either one or two ways really. Ryan isn't necessarily one to give up. Same with Bluefin, who's missing out today, unfortunately. But, I think he's definitely gonna keep a steady pace and just wait for something to happen between Moz and
yeah, I think something could happen here. I'm not, I don't think, because I think Moz is gonna have to try and gain onto the back of Ingerholmes, but look at what's happening.
He could just send it down the inside in.
He could do. Let's see what happens. His brake's a bit late, but we'll see.
Yeah, he needs to know that trying to get the cutback just won't work. He needs to just throw it down the inside and block him off.
He does.
I've been watching him. Ingerholmes tends to run it quite deep into hairpins and get a good exit.
Yep. So Hartlad's got a 1 second penalty. I don't know whether it's because he ran wide or.
Could well be the case.
So
yeah.
that's gonna ruin him so far. But then you've got Timmy up into 4th, where we were discussing what was going on at the front. That's a good showing. You've got Craig in 5th, trying to still chase him down. But that's obviously a good showing. But Craig's obviously there. He's going to show him around the block once or twice. You got Lee Fitzy still in 6th place. You still got Tom Holland 7th. You got Frowney 8th. You got Bastian getting caught by. Yeah, so Bastian's now getting caught slowly but surely by Brian Ross. But it's good fair showing from Neil Smale in the blue and white car there. So we've got you've got. So let's see what's going out at the front at the moment. So obviously Ryan McVeigh's penalty has cost him because he's dropped back.
Dropped back quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah, he's dropped back quite a bit. So he's now got obviously Timmy and obviously Craig trying to chase him down. But it's going to
have a lap and a half left.
Yeah.
Get past.
So let's see. So you got Inca Holmes still trying to hold off Gareth Morris for first place, but I think these two are probably going to get it now. You know, Mozzie's going to try and make a move now. He's looking more likely he wants this move done sooner than later.
He's just got to wait for the right moment. He can't.
Which he's trying to do there. He's going to go for it. Is he going to go for it?
He just needs to fire it down the inside if he wants to have it done.
He does, which he's trying to do. He's not going to do it here. Is he going to try and do it into the chicane, or is it going to go into the hairpin? He's going to have to try and make the move. He's got a good exit, so he's going to have to get a good exit here.
He's just following his lines, making sure he doesn't lose time. Make sure he's keeping living people in the slipstream.
Yeah.
It could end up going into where it sort of swaps into that Miyabi section as well.
Mhm.
It's only 2.5 tenths.
Yep.
2 tenths now separate.
So we've got 20 seconds left, so we're on the last lap ultimately. Ooh, it's going to be very interesting because he's right on his back bumper.
Is he going to go for it here now?
Let's have a look.
Be defending that the inside
He's going to be. He's going to be. Yeah, it looks to the outside, but is it going to? He can't. He can't. He's worrying too much.
Yeah,
Craig's. Why watching that battle? Craig's dropped down to 8th. Don't know what exactly happened to him, but he's playing. Obviously, trying to play it safe, as we say. But going back to this battle between Gareth and, of course, Inca Holmes, this will be very interesting indeed. But Ryan,
can he take win on his debut?
It'll be very interesting if these two collide and make a bit of a hash of it. Ryan McVeigh could easily be onto the back of him, but I don't think Ryan will be close enough.
No, I don't think so. Oh, he's got a good run now. He's got
a good run. Is he going to make it? Is he going to make it stick?
Right, or Inca Holmes just throws it in there. Blocks him off, but now he's got the cut back.
Yeah, he's got the cut back. Let's see. Is he going to send it? No, he's a bit too far back there. So you got Inca Holmes still trying to hold on for his first victory in the season. Moz is trying to get up into him. He's got a bit of a run, but
oh, Moz is a car's width. Go on.
Oh mate, he's not, unless he tries to make it now, but he ain't. So Inca Holmes comes across the line in first place. What an absolute battle! So first win to Inca Holmes. Gareth Morris comes home in second. You got Ryan McVeigh after his penalty coming home in third. Then you got Timmy taking out fourth, Lee Fitzy in fifth, Tom Holland in sixth place. Then you got Frowney and of course Craig in seventh and eighth rather. Bastion actually comes home in ninth, which is a great battle.
Third drive.
And then obviously Brian Ross 10th, and then obviously Simon Smith and Neil Hall, and of course Trav at the back. So that will be very interesting, and fair play to Inca Holmes taking out a well-deserved victory.
Moz just needs to learn he needs to have different ways of overtaking and not just sort of going for the cutback. I think that's
indeed, mate.
Weakness. Has sort of style. He needs to be a bit more aggressive and get his elbows out, I suppose. Adam Morgan, we're trying to get the name to the PSM name now.
Yeah.
Yeah, held off. Was fantastic driving.
Yep. So that'll be very interesting, because it will be very interesting to see what Adam can do, because Adam is part of the Porsche Cayman, so it'll be very interesting, because now I've seen him do a race, I will be looking forward to see what he does in the Caymans on a Friday. So we'll be gearing up for race 2, which will be a reverse grid, and it will be very interesting to see what happens.
Well, I'm just saying that the tyres go quite quickly.
They can fade quite quickly, especially when you are pushing on, so it'll be very interesting. Someone has a minibar. I'm very jealous.
Sort of give the drivers a few minutes to sort of
Yeah.
themselves prepared and get the toilet breaks out of the way.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I will go nip for one myself, so I'll be back in a sec.
So while Andy's gone, I suppose we'll go through the race results with Adam Morgan winning in Cahomes, separated from Moz by about a tenth, just under a tenth. Ryan McVeigh, aka Hatter Lad, finishing 4.3 seconds behind, with Timmy 2 seconds behind him. Lee Fitzy finishing 5th on debut, beating out Tom Holland by about 5 seconds or so. Frowney on his debut finishes 7th, ahead of Craig, who started 3rd or 4th, I think, 3rd. Must have made a few mistakes. Unfortunately, cost him a good few space during the race. Bastian, Neil Smale, having a great race, finishing 9th for him, good showing. Brian Ross in 10th, after a couple of mistakes from him as well. Snod, Simon Smith, finishing a lap down, along with Noddy's mate Neil Hall and Travis Idale. And Moz sees the fastest lap on lap 3 with a 2 minute 23.8, which is quite a good race time as well. Travis leaves, unfortunately. It looked like he was struggling, unfortunately. But with time, you know, and experience, it does pay off.
There we go, back.
Pardon me, I was just going through the race results.
Ah, cool. I'll just grab them quickly. I'll take a screenshot and then we've got them. You got the replay as well, mate?
Yeah, I've saved it.
No, I've got it just in case. Okay, let's see what happens in race 2, which will be a full grid reversal. So it will be whoever finished last will be on first place.
It was going to be Travis, but I think he's dropped out.
Ah, okay.
let's get going. The Bastion might pull another one of his famous reverse grid starts.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because he will be up there.
So it's Neil and Simon side on front row with Brian and Neil Smale behind.
Yep, and you got Craig followed by Frowning, Pineapple Head, Lee Fitzy, Timmy, and of course the rest of the field. So we're getting the green flag from the back of the grid to say everyone's back. And we've got another 15-minute race to go. Let's see what will happen at the start as Noddy's mate, aka Neil Hall, bogs down into the start.
Gets a brilliant start.
Gets an absolute epic start. It's an epic start into second place.
At least the pack.
Yep.
He's got a big ride at the back. So quite what you want to see at the start could end in tears.
Yep. So all the gaggle of cars here. Oh, Frowning and Pineapple Head have a bit of a touch. So it's going to be very interesting going down the hill into the long left-hand bend as Brian Ross comes under threat from Frowning for third place, and also Lee Fitzy for fourth place now. But who's that in the wall? Hatter lads span going down the hill.
Oh. That was unfortunate. Not sure why Inca was so slow there, but unfortunately Noddy's mate just drove into the back of him.
Yeah. So Neil Smell actually leads the race now. Now after we're watching further back. So is he going to hold on? Stonks tried to make, yeah, he tries to make the move on the outside.
On the outside, it's probably thrown it there.
It's thrown it. No.
He's probably one right there.
He's not.
Not cracking under pressure.
No, he's doing so far so good with Frowney trying to chase him down.
Noddy's mate retires from the race.
Yeah, probably with mechanical issues. So you got four a couple of four cars trying to make it too wide into. So it's going to be very interesting. So you got Inca Holmes up into third from Simon Smith from Lee Fitzy and Craig. This is going to be interesting.
Make a move down the inside of Bastion, who must have smacked the wall next to the chicane.
Yeah.
Holmes takes advantage of that.
Yeah, so Adam takes the lead again from the back of the field.
Osman and Snod are battling, but they're all gone.
Yeah, so it's going to be very. He runs a bit wide there going into turn number one. You've got Gareth Morris trying to chase down Brian Ross, and Timmy. You've got quite a lot of battles and quite a lot of cars together. It's going to be very interesting.
Bastion just gets a tap from Frowny and he's just slammed into the wall.
Yeah,
that must have been. I don't know. It could have been a racing incident, but I can't tell at the moment.
No, it's hard to tell because, but you know, fair play. He led the race for a bit, but he's still got a gap from obviously the Tom Holland and of course Ryan McVeigh, as they're still battling a bit out at the back. So it's going to be very interesting. You've still got all these cars battling. You got Lee Fitzy followed from Craig, so you got the two cousins at the moment, and obviously within Craig and of course Lee Fitzy, and obviously Timmy's up into fourth still. So it's going to be very interesting. So Inca Holmes, Adam Morgan up in first place at the moment, followed by Lee Fitzy and Craig. They're going to be obviously.
Big crash there. That was Lee Fitzy.
It was, yes, it was. Big shame. He's obviously dropped back. I don't know whether we'll have to pick it up on the replay because it's that far in now.
If it was something bad, they'll always report it, so...
Yeah. See, you've got... Yeah, so Moz is there.
Bastion holding on to 7th though, he's doing quite well.
He's done well to come back up to 7th after that little bit of a... Yeah, so he's doing quite well. I'm quite amazed how well he's done. So you've got Moz trying to chase down Frowny now for potentially 3rd place.
We'll get the one and then going for the first corner.
Yeah.
The outside.
He's going to go for the outside.
Good old-fashioned inside.
Yep. So you've got Timmy as well trying to join in this battle. This is going to be really close. Oh, Moz just rejoined Timmy. Yeah. That was a bit scary because Timmy gives him a bit of a tap to make that happen, but Moz has just rejoined. That could have ended up in serious tears. Yeah. So you got Bastion and you got Neil Smurl still in 7th place at the moment. You got Lee Fitzy recovering from that little incident there. You got Hatterlad up into 9th. You got Simon Smith and Tom Holland battling at the back. But we'll see what happens within. You've got Craig still in 2nd with Adam Morgan up in 1st place at the moment. And no guys, if you're thinking it's Adam Morgan from British Touring Cars in real life, no it is not. But so obviously it's his namesake, but it's quite weird. So you got Timmy still battling with Frowny for 3rd and 4th at the moment with 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go. So obviously it's going to be very interesting to see what happens between these two at the moment.
When it looks to the outside, it won't work.
No, it's not going to work into that bend.
You've got it wide, but you're still going to get the cut back.
Still going to get it, yes. So he's keeping the line. You've got Gareth trying to chase down Frowny as well as Timmy. Is he going to actually latch onto the back of these two and actually trying to take 2 of them at once? I think not, because it's getting very close though. So you've still got Brian Ross trying to chase down these guys. Bastion and Lee Fitzy are slowly will have a bit of a battle shortly, but it's going to be very interesting, I must say.
All over the back of Frowny now. Just don't. There you go.
There we go. He's gone for it, but Frowny closes the door into the last corner there.
It's a better exit, yeah.
But Moz has still got a good exit, but he's going to have to be careful because he's, you know.
Frowny's from wide. He's going for it.
He's going for it. He's going for it. He's got him. He's got him. Slowly but surely. Oh, he's got him. He's got him. What a move. Just go back to. Yeah. So you got this battle between Neil Smurl and of course Lee Fitzy for 7th and 8th at the moment, but it's good showing, and we'll see what is going to happen.
Did Lee Fitzy just go on the outside of him?
He did.
Oh,
there's yellow flag. So Frowny's now lost.
And it just spat back out with the barrier on the inside.
Yeah, so that's going to push him wide.
Good for Hatterlad though, points wise.
Yes, so we did have 11, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I think Neil dropped out.
He did.
Let me have a look. Oh, Snod must have dropped out.
Snod must have gone.
He made a mistake. He's just sat in the lobby now.
Yeah. So you got Gareth trying to latch onto the back of Timmy at the moment for potentially third place at the moment, but it'd be very interesting with 6 minutes to go. So as we can see what's going on. So it's going to be
slight. It won't do much to the final race results, but Osman is catching ever so slightly to those.
yeah. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
And now Timmy and Morris are now slowly but surely catching up to him.
Yeah.
Lose, which is
It's a big shame, really, because he was doing so well. So you got Timmy and Gareth still battling away, so we'll see what happens with their battle. So you still got Hattelad up into now 7th. So Neil Smell's now dropped down to 8th, but fair enough, he's not giving up though.
He isn't, he's still going.
He's still getting there. He'll get there, he'll probably have a confidence boost thinking, well, I've managed to lead a race. Okay, fair enough, he dropped back, but you know, he's still on the pace, so you know, it's fair enough.
Tell you what, his tyre wear is quite good compared to everyone else, I've just noticed.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see as Moz tries to make a move on Timmy there. Timmy closes the door, but Moz is going to fight back. He's side by side.
He's putting it, he says I'm having that.
He's having it, but Timmy keeps it together. Is Gareth going to cut back and try and make a move? He's a bit far, but these two are still going to have this battle regardless, whatever happens, because you know. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with 4 minutes to go.
Looks like Frowny and Bastion are having a bit of a squabble.
Yeah.
Just trying to get back up the grid now.
So let's see.
Does he look down the inside?
Yep, he does.
Bastion going to be able to get the throttle a bit quicker. And he's going to squeeze him up against the pit wall now. Or say the pit wall of the shorter layout.
Ooh. Oh, that's very interesting. You got Frowny still trying to chase him down though, so that will be very.
Still on him. Was again going for the outside.
He obviously likes to try and go onto the outside. But he's flashing the lights saying to Timmy, "Come on, mate! I want this place."
Trying to get in his head, trying to distract him.
Yeah. If he carries on flashing the lights, he probably will put him off a bit, but we'll see what happens.
He's putting himself off more than Timmy though, but now he's got a good run on him.
Yeah, he has.
Down the inside, blocked Timmy off at the apex. Just
oh, this could be very close. He's got it. He's got it, but Timmy's not giving up though. He's done exactly the same move as he did a couple of laps ago. So he's now going to try and come.
Exit on him.
Yeah. So you got Frowny still in 8th place, haven't you? So let's see what happens. Bit of tyre squeal further back, but it's going to be very interesting. So Timmy's now trying. He's still got the back. Oh, Moz runs wide. Very wide there, which allows Timmy back into 3rd place. It's going to be very.
Going to be looking at his mirrors, laughing at this because he's got a 2nd place in the bag now, hasn't he?
Yeah. So Craig's going to be laughing, saying, "Oh, my mate from nearby is making mistakes, and I've got 2nd place." But fair play to Timmy, not giving up though. He's pushing on, trying to defend from obviously Gareth. So it'll be very interesting to see what to do with 1 minute and 20 remaining. So Timmy tries to close the door there. Gareth tries to make a move, but he's a bit, as I said in the first race, he's got to be careful.
I think he's being a bit too careful at the moment.
He is, yeah. He has a look, but he can't. So we've got Brian Ross in 5th place there at the moment from Lee Fitzy. And then obviously, yeah, and Hattelad up to 7th. And then you got obviously Frowny and Bastion still battling. And Tom Holland at the back of the field at the moment. It's not a good showing for Tom at the moment.
No, he did have that coming together with, who is it, Ryan McVeigh, which is quite unfortunate, but
yeah,
he'll have pole for reverse board.
So you...
Hattelad so far up, but I'm not sure if that would do much. He was all over the back of the Fitzy now.
So let's have a look here for 6th and 7th. As we're on the final lap of the race, you've got Lee Fitzy trying to defend like mad from the Hattelad. Ryan McVeigh will try and make a move on the outside. Oh, what a clever move that was. But Lee Fitzy isn't going to give up, he's going to push him. But what a move that was.
That was a great move indeed.
So you've got Timmy still under pressure from Gareth there. As Gareth tries to think about, he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. He's gone for it, but Timmy closes. But Timmy closes the door again, and that's what Gareth is probably thinking. Why are you closing the door? You know. But it's going to be very interesting. So.
Still did it. There he seems to be a bit quicker coming out.
Seems to be quicker, yeah.
He's not going to quite throw it down the inside, but he's going to get the throttle earlier, maybe. Keeps a tighter line though. So he's definitely got a better exit.
Yep, he has. He's going to try and make it. He goes for it. Goes for it. The touch a bit.
Oh, cheeky.
It's a bit cheeky, does. Yeah.
He keeps his third place for Mars.
Yep, he's going to, but be very interesting because Moz tries to make a move on the outside. He needs to get that switch back very early as possible.
Can he do a George Russell? No, he can't.
Sadly not. Oh, Timmy goes a bit wide. He does, but Gareth.
Holmes makes it 2 of 2.
2 of 2. Outward. Yep. Craig will come home in 2nd place. Then you've got Timmy just holding off for.
Was just missing out there.
Yeah, just missing out. And Brian Ross finishes 5th. Then you got Hattelad. I believe he's struggling this evening. He's obviously he's on his wheel, but I believe he's just struggling to get a rhythm. Frowny will come home in 7th, Bastion in 8th, which is a good showing for him. And then Lee Fitzy in 9th, so and Tom Holland at the back. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens within the last race of the evening.
Can anyone challenge Inca Holmes? Doesn't. At the moment, the people that possibly can have been hit off.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I believe Ryan's not happy.
I don't think he will be, no. Because we know he's a very quick driver, but a 4th and a 6th.
Yep. Hasn't been the best for him.
Yeah, no. Exactly.
I'll just grab the race results. While you do that. Right. Right then.
Tom Holland's got to drop out, which is unfortunate.
It's going to be a shame.
Could have been a good opportunity for him, yeah, to race. Would have been starting nearer the front.
Yeah. That's a bit of a shame for him.
Yeah. hopefully. Who was it? Can't remember now. They really did quite far and wide though. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed.
So it's going to be probably 9 drivers now, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Still should be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Still should be good regardless whatever happens.
Might make things a bit easier for Inca Homes and Hatterlad.
Yeah.
Maybe Timmy can get up there as well, get another podium. Or maybe Moz can. There's a good 4 or 5 drivers that have all have podium pace, but unfortunately haven't been able to get up there.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens in race 3 in a moment's time. So race 2 results, quickly go through them. You have Inca Homes, Adam Morgan, that takes another astounding victory, takes 2 from 2 at the moment from Craig, followed by Timmy and Gareth. Then you've got Brian Ross in 5th. Then you have Ryan McVeigh coming home from potentially making a couple of mistakes into 6th. Then you have Frowney in 7th, Bastian in 8th, Lee Fitzy in 9th, and then Tom Holland obviously in 10th. Fastest lap actually went to Gareth with a 2:23.8 on lap number 4, so it will be very interesting to see what happens in the next race. So it will be one of them, and it will be another reverse grid.
Just make sure everyone's entered. Okay, so it was Frowney. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was at the S's, wasn't it? When
It was, yeah.
someone was trying to get past. I think it was Timmy.
I think so.
No, it was. Yeah.
It's hard when there's a gaggle of them going into this bit of the S's where I'm looking at the moment on screen. But I think it's just one of them because it's so compact after the first hairpin, and it just tends to push people wide. So let's see what happens. So you got Frowney on pole position, but is Bastian going to make another lightning start?
Wouldn't surprise me. He's sort of become a bit of a fan favourite now for the starts.
But let's see as we get going. So Bastian tries to make a move already into turn number 1.
Hatterlad seemingly getting a better run than anyone else. Hold it around the outside of Bastian.
Is he going to hold on? No, it's going to be tight because they've got this section coming up. So Hatterlad takes 2nd from Bastian there.
See, and Mars having a bit of a coming together, but now Osman's coming up behind him.
Yeah.
Making it 3 maybe 4 wide. Lovely multiple moves there.
Yeah, so there's quite a few trying to make the same.
Looks like Inca Homes had a bit of a rough start as well.
Yeah, so he's
still down in last.
still in 9th place at the moment. So you got, I believe, so you got Craig and Osman. Well, Craig and Brian having a bit of a battle there, but it's going to be fantastic to see. You've got all these cars still trying to battle it out, but you've got Frowney, Moz and Bastian still battling for 4th, 5th and 3rd, 4th and 5th. And then obviously Ryan McVeigh trying to make a move on Lee Fitzy for 1st place up the road. So we'll see what happens. He does, yeah. He wants to try and make the move now. He wants to try and learn from his, which he does. So he's going to want to try and potentially But Bastion's coming back to him, slowly but surely.
How long can Lee Fitzy hold off Ryan McVeigh?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Goes for a late look.
Doesn't
quite get it to stick. That's going for a cheeky move.
Cheeky move, but yeah.
Into Moz there.
Tapped into Moz, but I think it was just one of them slight touches that was gonna. Just one of them, I think.
All three blue cars involved in the same incident.
That's a bit unfortunate, which has pushed Inkholm's back down to fair play. Fair play to Neil Smell actually giving the place back, because you know he might have thought he was at fault there, but you know, Hattalad's actually now got in front of Lee Fitzy. So it's going to be very interesting indeed.
Can Lee Fitzy get a good run on him, going over the hill? Just needs to lift off a bit here and then use his momentum.
Yep. So it's going to be very interesting. So
Robert thinks he can get a comeback.
Bit of cutback. We'll just see what's going on further back. Frowney's got past Craig for fourth there, but Craig will be hot on his heels, trying to chase him down. So you got Timmy and Inca Holmes now up into 7th. So you got Bastion and Brian Ross having a bit of a battle. Oh, Bastion loses control there, going out of that hairpin, which is unfortunate for him, but fair play. He's had a good showing this evening, so you know.
We'll let him off this time.
We'll always let people off, mate. But we'll see what happens.
Still on Ryan up at front.
It's going to be interesting, these two having a bit of a battle. So you got the Luton Oranges, I'm going to call it, and obviously Lee Fitzy in a nice yellow banana skin car there. So he's going to be chasing down Ryan. He's probably going to want to repeat what Adam Morgan's done in the first 2 races. You know, it'd be interesting. He's still obviously
wants to run away with it.
He does.
No problems.
You've got Frowney trying to make a move on Timmy, which he does, but I believe Timmy's going to fight back. So you got it's going to be very interesting, because you got obviously Inca Holmes as well behind, so you got Adam behind these two, so you got Frowney and Timmy battling. If these two make a mistake, it will bring up Adam into potentially 5th place.
He's got the better exit than Timmy, who dipped a few tyres into the grass. Is he gonna box him in, or he's gonna leave him the space?
It's gonna be interesting. Oh, Timmy tries to make a move.
Now Frowney's gonna have a bit of a deja vu. Is now Inca Holmes in the same liveries all over the back of him.
Yep. So he's gonna think, what? Where are you? You're either 5th or you 7th. What is it? But yeah, fair play. But Adam Morgan's gonna try and make a move. He's a bit far back at the moment. Timmy gets a bit crossed up there, but we will see what goes on. But so far, as Adam Morgan tries to make a move now, because Frowney, I believe he clipped the grass. Inca Holmes tries to make it 3 wide. Oh, that was actually quite a good move there.
Oh, he drops it on the exit.
But he drops it back. He's got to be careful. Let's see. Yeah, so Lee Fitzy's dropped back a bit from Hasselad at the moment, but he's got Moz chasing him down. So it's going to be very interesting. Inca Holmes back up into 6th place at the moment. Well, that's going to be very interesting. So you've still got obviously Hattalad from Lee Fitzy, from Gareth, from Craig, followed by Timmy and Inca Holmes, and of course Frowney and Brian Ross, and then of course Bastion at the back of the field. He'll catch up. He'll you know, he's proved that some good point scoring this evening. So, you know, it will be very interesting to see what happens. So I believe Gareth is now trying to catch up onto the back of Lee Fitzy here.
Yeah, I've been watching the little red rectangle just showing the difference between Moz and Ryan, and it's been going down, so he's not just catching up to Lee, but he's catching up to Ryan too.
This is going to be very interesting.
Exactly, we're just coming up to the halfway mark now, and if Moz can keep his pace up, he may well be able to challenge Ryan into the later stages of the race.
Yeah,
set another purple lap.
Which he does. He's trying to make a move on Lee Fitzy there, going into turn number 1, which he actually does.
Great move there.
But I think Lee Fitzy's going to still chase him though. He's not giving up. It's going to be
points, doesn't he?
So it's going to be very interesting.
Is he going to look to the inside?
No, he's not. He's dropped back a bit now though.
Oh blimey, Moz is now up 4 tenths to Hatter. He's now only 9 tenths, 8 tenths now.
Yeah, he's gone purple in this sector as well, so he's gonna...
Someone's spun at the back. Inca Holmes has lost it.
Oh dear. So he's lost it. Which is a bit of a shame really, because he's not going to make it 3 from 3 now. He's going to have to push on and hope the others make a mistake. So Frowney's in 6th, followed by Brian Ross in 7th. But we'll go back to the battle between obviously Lee Fitzy and of course Gareth and of course Ryan. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, because Ryan's now dropping into the clutches of Gareth. I don't know whether he's struggling. He's got a bit of wear on his tyres. He's trying to push on to try and escape, but the more he does it, the tyre wear is getting loose and looser, and it's getting almost to a point where he's going to end up burning out his tyres if he's not careful. So you got Gareth there still trying to chase down Ryan, but he's not doing too bad, but he needs to get this move done if he wants to hold off Lee Fitzy there. But it'll be very interesting with 5.5 minutes remaining. So you got Timmy trying to chase down Craig at the moment, and you've obviously got Frowney in 7th, Brian Ross in 7th, then you've got Inga Holmes, Adam Morgan in 8th, and then you've got Neil Smell in 9th place. But he's not far back off the pace now, so he's doing better than what I thought he would do in this race after having a bit of argy-bargy, but he's doing okay. So we've got I believe now Lee Fitzy's dropped back from Gareth there.
About second or so, yeah. Morris is keeping that gap steady between himself and Ryan.
Yeah, he's trying to catch up to Ryan, but Ryan's... We'll have to see, because it's going to be very interesting. So Gareth tries to chase down Ryan for a victory this evening, but I believe it is going to be very close, and it could be interesting for the last 2 laps of the race.
Ryan running a bit wide there. The closer Moz gets, the more strong that slipstream will be, so the easier it will be for him to catch up.
It will, indeed. So just have a look at what's happening further back. Craig's still got a bit of a gap from Timmy there, but that could be an interesting battle if Timmy gets closer. So you got Inca Holmes, Adam Morgan still in 8th place after his spin. He's not going to make it 3 from 3, I'm afraid, because obviously it's going to be a bit too late with coming up to 3.5 minutes to go. But it will be very interesting. Neil Smale still in 9th place, but it's a good showing from him this evening, as the Hatter lad now slowly but surely now comes under pressure from Gareth. This is going to be very interesting indeed. The gaps come down, but then the gap grows again for a bit. But Gareth knows how to put the car in awkward places. So that's
taking that slow in, fast out line, like where he needs to, and he's all over the gearbox of Ryan now.
He's now going to try and chase him down. So we go on to the penultimate lap of the race.
Ryan runs a bit deep.
He runs wide.
Do the same move. He isn't.
He isn't, but he's thinking about it though. He's thinking about it.
The two top drivers of last series.
Yeah.
Most
It's going to be very interesting. So he's trying to fend off Gareth there for first place at the moment, but it's going to be very interesting, I must say.
Stuck into his slipstream. Oh, goes.
He's looking for the outside. He wants the outside, but he goes the outside. Cuts back in though to try and make it onto the outside. He's still on the outside there, but it's going to be quite close.
Ryan again running deep on the exit, leaving Moz fantastic opportunity through the S's.
Yep, he's got an opportunity.
He's going to hold it around the outside. He's going to get on the throttle.
He's going to get onto it, but it's going to be very close. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's brilliant, fantastic stuff. It's going to be very interesting.
Gets the better exit up the hill. He's using all that curb. He's all over the shaft of Ryan.
He is.
Slipping to the inside, but that's going to turn into the outside of the hairpin. Is he going to go for the contact?
But, yeah. Let's see.
Again, he's trying to get the switch back.
He's trying to get the switch back, but he's struggling at the moment. But
he's slow himself down.
He's slowed himself down.
Just go for it. Just
he needs. That's what he needs to do. He needs to just go for it. He just can't just slow himself down enough, because it will just make the gap bigger and bigger. So they'll jump on to the final lap. What's going to happen in the final lap of the last race of the evening? But it's going to be very interesting. I'm just going to have a look a bit back at the moment. You've got Craig, and of course Timmy's still getting closer now to Craig, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens within that battle as well. But you've got Gareth. Yeah, he's going to try and make his famous move.
Can he keep it there? I don't think he can, no. Although he's going to get a better exit.
He's got a better exit there. Is he going to...
Can he get alongside down the hill? Can he go for the outside? I don't think he will. Ryan's going to keep it there.
Well, keeps it there. It's going to be... Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Ryan's definitely going to go for a move going into the hairpin.
He's going to have to. He's going to have to. He's making... He's trying to make it... Oh, fantastic racing from the pair of them there, I tell you. It's going to be really still trying to chase him down.
Trying to open every door he can, but Moss just shutting them before he can get anywhere near them.
Yeah, so Gareth's now trying to replicate what he was trying to do all along. But you got Ryan still trying to fight back.
He's going to have a better exit here.
He is.
Throttle sooner. Is he going to throw it around the outside like Moz did a lap ago? Or is he going to fake it? He does! Oh, big crash! Big crash!
We knew that was going to end in tears though.
He's going to be absolutely laughing here.
He is now, because
he's not quite there.
He's not there, but if he was there, he would have been laughing, because he would have got that done. But that's brought Lee, and it's also brought Craig up into potentially a bit more contention there, as well as Timmy. Oh, that was a bit unfortunate for them, because they were battling so well, but it was
went for a move and Moz just
yeah.
slammed it shut.
Lee Fitzy runs wide in the back, but
into the kitty litter.
yeah. So that was
comes around the final corner. After that was a great battle.
it was, and
comes home another champion style drive.
yeah, and then Craig
across the line and wins.
Craig comes home in third after all that. What? God, I'm speechless after that. It was.
Oh, that was
crazy, man.
Wait through there, but that was fantastic towards the end.
So you got Frowney in 7th, Brian Ross 6th. Inga Holmes doesn't make it 3 from 3, unfortunately, but he finishes in 8th place. But let's see what happens. But fair play to Gareth though. He made his move and he did very well. Got it done, and let's get the race results. Oh, well, it was crazy, man. So we'll go through the final results of the evening. For the last race of the evening, we do have Gareth Morris takes in an outstanding victory from Ryan Vey from Craig. Lee Fitzy finishes 4th, Timmy in 5th, Brian Ross 6th, Frowney 7th, Inga Holmes in 8th, and Bastion in 9th. Fastest lap went to Gareth with a 2:23.6 on lap number 4, and I'll tell you what, that battle towards the end, that was absolutely fantastic. It nearly ended in tears. It nearly handed Lee Fitzy a first victory this evening, but it was an absolute outstanding victory. And I must say, watching it in the commentary box from mine and Will's point of view, it must have been very scary on stream, I must say. But hopefully we will be having a good battle when we go to Fuji, and it will be very interesting there.
Fingers crossed. I think Moz will definitely be wanting to practice after his 2 slightly underwhelming sort of results in the first 2 races. Hattalad's got to be absolutely kicking himself for that mistake. Everyone must have made a mistake like that before.
Yep.
But you know, he'll come back stronger, like he did after Tokyo, and just winning the 2 races of Wardbean. Inga Holmes is, I think, you know, I say just going through the list, but everyone's sort of had a bit of a bad race through all of this evening. Obviously, Brian Ross had a bit of an iffy race, but in race 1.
Yeah.
But Bastion had 2 good results for himself, and then he sort of, I think he dropped. What was it? I think he got hit off again. I think he
kind of had the battle with the other 2 blue cars, and I think what had happened, he ended up just firing himself off a bit, and I think that was a bit of an unfortunate bit. But obviously it's that chicane after the first corner, and it goes too wide, so it's kind of one of them where you can't go 3 wide, but sometimes you can. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens in Fuji, and I think it was going to be fantastic. But you know, let's see what happens at Fuji, and let's see if anyone can stop Inga Holmes and of course Gareth Morris. I think Gareth will now he's got his win in that race, I think it will now spur him on for the rest of the season, and we will see what happens there. And who knows, it could be typical Fuji weather, where it could be either hot or humid or very cold. So we've been Hoppers and Will, commentating for Eldar Racing, proudly sponsored by Shell Lorman Motorsport in the Mugen Masters, and it will be very interesting to see what happens at Fuji as of next week. So bye for now guys, take care, and we'll see you guys soon.
Take care, bye bye.